Well, hello again. I'm further down away from where I parked. I think if I do that, I'm not very far down the way. This little thing here, I'm going to invert for you guys. If you've never been to New Mexico, to see this much water moving in one place. Now, grant, this is just a shunt off of the Rio, but it's actually a pretty sizable shunt in terms of volume. I say right now, I'm pretty sure I'm not ready to go to the mat on this, but I would say right now, the amount of water in that ditch right there exceeds the volume in flow per minute, gallons per minute, or whatever, of practically every river in this state, with the exception of the Rio Grande. Pecos River, I don't think ever gets to this. There's a lot of small streams and creeks and stuff, but what they call rivers here in New Mexico, seriously, in other places it would be just laughably just a little nothing spring probably without a name. But at any rate, we don't have that much water, and yet look around you how green it is here. Green, greeny, green, green, green. All those orchards, huge. We in Doña Ana County raise an astonishing amount of pecans. I don't, but the farmers do. And of course, that's pretty water intensive. There's things to think about out here, but it's just so nice and quiet. See, I never noticed any of these buildings out here. What a great place to live. Wow. Never even know anybody was here. And look at that. There's another spot across the river right there. Boy, that's nice. People could drive right by here and hardly ever even notice anybody lives here. Huh. Funny how I never noticed this place even existed. So anyway, I was sitting there thinking today while I was down there at the breakfast place, and I got to the young lady, the waitress lady, and I said, well, say congratulations. And she said, why? I said, well, because here it is Wednesday morning, and right at that time it was already 9:40 or 10, something like that. And I said, here it is. Last cigarette I had was last Thursday morning at about 8:30 or 8:40 a.m. She said, well, good for you. Are you quitting? And I thought, well, no. What do you mean, am I quitting? Yes. All right, I'll draw you a picture. At any rate, I mean, she's just trying to be polite, I think, but it just seems so strange to me. Why would anyone inquire of that? But I was thinking, quitting cigarettes is so interesting because it's this weird, phony baloney world where I lie to myself in serial fashion, but never catch myself at it or something. Very weird. And it kind of sounds like this. Well, I've quit smoking a dozen times. I mean, really. I mean, walked away one time for 6 years, one time for about 7.5, 10 months, something like that. One time, only about 6 weeks. One time I stepped away from it for about 3.5 years. I mean, I've done this off and on, but I smoked pretty much steady ever since I was a kid. And so the thing is that there's something, well, maybe more like a teenager, actually. But the point is that there's this internal lie, which kind of sounds like, oh, well, I can quit anytime I want. It's really not that hard. Here I am at plus 5 days. I've already gotten the nicotine, by and large, out of my system now. What I have to conquer at this point is all the old hand and finger habits and all the relationships where nicotine gets linked in my mind with, say, pizza, or nicotine gets linked in my mind with beer. So to have one needs the other. Well, all that habit stuff, that takes about 6 weeks to break. I've done all this before. But at any rate, I don't know how many times I've folded right about here, somewhere between day 4 and day 14. I mean, I've clearly, obviously kicked the nicotine out. Whatever's left now is just trace elements. It can't have that strong pull. And guess what? I'll still fold like a cheap suit over and over and over again. I don't know how many times I've done this, where I've collapsed in exactly the same fashion. I'm getting tired of looking at me. Look at the... Anyway, that's what it looks like coming down the way. I don't know the name of that little hill up front of us, but this is so nice down here in that I'm all alone and it's quiet. I'll try to be quiet and you can hear some birds. So if I was just quiet, we could hear probably 4 or 5 different kinds. I'm thinking. I think I heard dove in there. Of course, there was a rooster behind me, and different birds. I don't know what all we're hearing, but I like that kind of nice and quiet. And I tell you, there's something good about walking beside moving water. Even though I can't really hear it moving, having that next to me, it's a good. I don't know how to describe it. It's like powerful. It energizes you, it refreshes you, makes you feel good. Like when you get a big breath of fresh air, nice clean breath. It's something like that. So anyway, you guys have a good day. I just wanted to mention this idea of stopping smoking. Is that to me it's really like a psyop, like a CIA. Hey, look at them guys. It's like a CIA psyop, and I'm the one pulling the stockings over my own head. I'm the one fooling me. And it's like, what's the net gain? How do I win by faking myself out? And so I have to tell myself the truth before God that, hey, I do want to smoke sometimes. But you know why? I want to smoke because I'm afraid of what? Something's coming in. And so my body tells me, it worms me in this breath thing. Now watch. I'm going to invert one more. The body thing is something like this. Here's when I want a cigarette. Ready? The mouth forms a kind of a pucker shape, a little bit like you're going to suck through a straw. And you're inhaling there. Why? Surprise, fear. And so in other words, you're under a lot of stress. Look around you in your environment. Your body is telling you that you're under stress, that you're in fear. But your mind won't allow that because that's technically not allowed. So we lie to ourselves. And in part of our lying to ourselves is that we say, hey, anytime I want. It's just that I never actually do get around to doing just that. It'd be like a guy saying, well, yes, of course I could walk 50 yards. But he just never does so. There's a lie involved there. There's a lot of weird mental double talk. And I just love looking at this kind of stuff. But I realize how easily this captures me over and over and over again. I'm 64 now. And I'm beginning to grasp just how corrupt my own heart is. It's just astonishing. What a flim-flam artist I am. I wouldn't buy a used car from me. And I know me. I know where I live. Well, you guys have a good day. And I am going to probably quit making videos after this one. There's not much to see down here unless a giant mothership UFO shows up. But in that case, I'll probably be famous by then. And I don't think we'll have to worry about that. You have a good day. God bless. Run fast. Win.